Hey everybody, how's it going out there? Happy 4th of July. I'm wearing my um only thing I got with the American flag on it, so I decided to throw this on today. It's early in the morning on the 4th of July, and since it's America's birthday, I thought I'd continue on with the thing I started a few months back of albums who have a birthday this year, turning 40, albums from 1984. So I've got a few more. And looking through the collection, boy, man, I had a lot of 80s stuff, a lot more than I thought. So I thought I'd throw this on now, being the holiday weekend, instead of waiting until Friday or trying to do it Saturday or whatever. I thought I'd do it today, get it out there before all the stuff happens that we have to do. We're planning a trip and everything else, so thought I'd get out there and get something out for you guys. So all right, so we're going to go 1984 albums that came out in 84 that are turning 40 years old. So if you bought these back in the day, you are officially old, like this one that I bought back in the day, Iron Maiden Power Slave. 1984, of course, obviously. This is their fifth album. Went to number 21 in the United States and number 2 in the United Kingdom. So, killer record. As a Maiden fan, this is a killer record. That's all I got to say about that. So, yeah, 40 years old. We're getting old, aren't we? All right, one of the ones that started this whole thread, when I first started and came up with this idea of 1984, I was actually listening to this that night. Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. It's their second album, Merciful Fate's second album. Let's see here. I went to number 66 in Germany, didn't chart in the US. So repress, obviously. Kind of a cool color back here, matches the fire on the cover. This is a really good record. This is one of those ones I bought. I've never been a huge fan of like Merciful Fate or, like a couple of King Diamond albums, but this is one that's talked about a lot. So I bought it and I'm listening to that. And the next album that I'm going to talk about came up next. And what they had in common was both came out in 1984. So I thought that was interesting. So I started looking, and now I'm on my third of probably 4 threads. So here's the other one I listened to that night. Queensryche's The Warning. Debut album, went to number 61 in the United States. I fell in love with this record the second it came out. The first time I saw the video for The Warning on MTV back in 84, I would have been 15 years old. I freaking loved this band. I thought they were tremendously good, sounded unlike anything at the time, in my opinion. So, and I think this is right up there. This is a great album. Operation Mindcrime is obviously probably one of the best concept albums of all time. That was 2 albums after this, if I remember correctly. But this album here, I got this as soon as, like I said, I heard The Warning. I went out and bought this record. Then I went back and found the EP and bought the EP, and I love all that early stuff. So Queensryche's The Warning. All right, another one from 84. This is right in my heyday of my favorite band of all time, Kiss Animalize. Their 12th album overall went to number 19 in the United States. What can you say? I love this record. This is the, they were in the middle of switching guitar players. They'd just, lost Ace in the previous album. They had Vinnie Vincent. Then he didn't work out, and they put Mark St. John on this. And this is the era where Mark St. John kind of tours with the band a little bit, and they bring in Bruce Kulick, who becomes their guitar player for the next 10 or 12 years. Bruce is not on this album, although if you saw them live on this tour, you more than likely saw Bruce playing guitar for them. But Kiss Animalize, I think this is a great record. It's pretty heavy for Kiss. Lots of good driving guitar work. Definitely a great 80s Kiss album. My favorite era of Kiss anyway. I mean, I love the makeup stuff, but, I came of age when this stuff was coming out. So this is something that I really, really dig. This one right here next. VOA, Sammy Hagar. I Can't Drive 55, right? This is a really, really good record, and I really enjoyed this a lot, and I liked Sammy Hagar a lot. And then after this, of course, he joins Van Halen, and I basically stopped paying attention to both that band and Sammy Hagar because I was not a Van Halen fan when Sammy joined the band. Not that it was Sammy's fault. It was just a different style to me. That's a different band. Van Halen with Sammy Hagar is not the same Van Halen with David Lee Roth. It doesn't even sound the same in my opinion. Well, this is a great record. I just picked this up. It hasn't been that long ago. I Can't Drive 55, Two Sides of Love, Dick in the Dirt, VOA. I mean, these are great rock album. Great rock album. Like I said, his 8th and went to number 32 in the United States. Another one I just picked up recently, Thompson Twins, Into the Gap, their 4th record overall, number 1 in the UK, number 10 in the US. This is the one, Dr. Doctor, it's got Hold Me Now on it. This video for Hold Me Now was all over MTV at the time. Was not a fan at the time, but like I said, if you've watched me enough, you know recently I've gone back to really digging the 80s new wave sound, so I'd picked this up recently, within the last 6 months probably. But I like this one a lot too. This is pretty good music, pretty good band. I like it. So, okay, next. Let's see. Let me flip my page here so I can get my numbers down. Nazareth the Catch. This is their 15th album overall. And there's Nazareth right there. I mean, the front cover is iconic. Honestly, right? But I've never listened to this. This is one of the records that I found. It's been almost 3 years since I found those records. I haven't put this on the turntable yet. Not really a huge fan. Nazareth is all right. I don't even know any of the songs on here, so this will be something I'll have to play first listens show or something like that. So I have no idea how good this record is or whatever, but I do have it in the collection, and it did come out in 1984, hence why I'm talking about it today. So let me know what you think. If you really dig that album or whatever, I'll listen to it. Debut album from Armored Saint came out in 1984, March of the Saint. Early thrash. Armored Saint, great band. John Bush has got a great voice. This is a pretty killer record. Probably picked this up like a year ago. I found it at a local flea market. I was like, okay. No, that's not how I got this record. This is another one that was found that day. So, and I have listened to this on multiple occasions. This is a great early thrash album. I like it a lot. Like I said, John Bush's voice is, he still sounds amazing, honestly. He still does. So I just saw Armored Saint. Probably been almost 2 years ago, and they opened for Wasp. John Bush still sounds amazing. Still an amazing singer. Still a great band, too. I don't think it was all the original members, but, So, yeah, March of the Saint. This is their debut album. It did go to number 138 in the United States. Okay, in 84, AC/DC released 74 Jailbreak. 10th overall, but it's an EP, so I don't know if you count it as an album or not, being 10th, but it is their 10th release overall. It did go platinum. I'm not sure on the charting on this. This was cool. I had this on cassette back in the day, when the 74 Jailbreak album came out. Of course, being an AC/DC fan at the time, and we all loved Bon Scott, so it was nice for them to put this out for those of us in America who hadn't really gotten a chance to get some of these songs that were, we knew most of these songs, but 74 Jailbreak, I didn't have any records with Jailbreak on them. I think some of the Australian stuff early had Jailbreak on it, but I just remember the cool video seeming so retro at the time and everything else, 74 Jailbreak 10 years beforehand. So this comes out in 84. Like I said, it did go platinum, but I'm not sure how it charted. I could not find that information out there. So, but like I said, 10th overall, but it is an EP, so how Discogs break stuff up, may not count as an album. Okay, something else I picked up more recently, Culture Club, Waking Up with the House on Fire. This is their 3rd album overall. Went to number 26 in the United States and number 2 in the United Kingdom. And this is a pretty good record. I started buying the Culture Club because of my newfound love for the 80s new wave sound. I bought Color by Numbers and Kissing to Be Clever, and then this was at my local record store, so I bought this one also. Pretty good. I like it. I like their first 2 a lot better, but this is good stuff. It really is good stuff, what they were doing back then. So and then finally for today, Meatloaf, Bad Attitude. his fourth album overall, went to number 74 in the United States. This is another one of those records that I found and I've never played. So let me know what you think of this one too. I can't tell you if it's any good or not, but did come out in 1984. I think by this point in time in the 80s, 1984, Meatloaf, we weren't paying attention as rock fans. Young rock fans were not really paying attention to Meatloaf. We just weren't. So, this is something I've never really gave a chance to. I do have a copy of Bat Out of Hell that I have played since I found it. And honestly, I don't really care for it. I just don't get it. I don't get the love of Meatloaf or whatever. I just don't get it. So I haven't had a chance to play this. So I've had plenty of chances to play it. I've chose not to play this just due to the fact that when I listen to Bat Out of Hell that everybody talks about as a great album, I just don't get it. I just don't get why the love for Meatloaf. I just don't, but that's just my taste. So one day I will play this and maybe it'll be great. I don't know. Put the comments down below. Tell me I'm a dumbass for not listening to it or whatever for this one and the Nazareth album. Two records I'm showing that I've never played. So I guess I should have to play them for one day and let you guys know what I think. So that's it for today. It looks like I've got about another 15 more I can do later for 84. I looked back in the collection and thought, when I finish 84, I can do 74 or I can do 94. There's not enough to do a show. So apparently the 80s is big in my life, apparently, still to this day. I guess that's what we do. We kind of stick with the era we came up in, I mean, I have more from the 80s than anything else. So anyway, I hope you guys all have a great weekend here in America, 4th of July weekend. A lot of people have today off and some people have tomorrow off and taking a 4-day weekend out of it. So be safe out there. If you're traveling, don't blow anything up when you go out, tonight. If you're doing fireworks, watch your hands. Don't blow off any fingers or anything else. That blows. Believe me, I know. So, mine wasn't a firework thing, but in case you guys have never noticed. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys all on Sunday night. And you guys all have a great weekend. All right, be safe out there, Vinyl community. Love you all. We'll talk to you later.